26, I believe, of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is the only podcast that says...
She is the only evidence of God I have seen, with the exception of the mysterious force that removes one sock from the dryer every time I do my laundry.
Nice.
You have no idea what that quote's from. No. That's from St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A Brat Pack classic. Yeah. So how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just doing my thing.
Doing your thing?
Mm-hmm.
Doing your thing. This fucking weather has been crazy.
I know.
Like, last weekend, I had to mow my lawn. Like, it was at a point where I was like, I need to mow it now, but when I do get around to mowing it, it'll be too hard.
Right.
And it was like 80 degrees at noon.
Yeah.
You know, and like all week it was like in the 40s.
Yeah.
Like today, today's like, 70s.
Yeah. Now it's 50.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to get rain tomorrow.
Yeah. Like, it's like fucking chaos. Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, I think we bitch about it every year, but like spring in Pittsburgh is like the most fucked up time because like the weather changes on a dime.
Yeah. It snows late.
Yeah.
It gets weird snow.
Like
it's cold.
It'll be like, I'll go to bed with my window open because it's like 70 degrees outside. And when I wake up, I've got to close it because I'm seeing my breath.
I know.
Like, it'll drop 30 degrees overnight.
And then in end of July and August, it's like Brazil.
Yeah.
Like
Brazil. You're literally like, the humidity is
outrageous.
You can cut it with a knife.
It's sick.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking to myself, like, I should have just waited a fucking week. If I had known the weather was going to be like this.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those things where it's like, I got to get it in. There's no rain this weekend. Yeah. So the grass is dry and everything. So I just said, fuck it. And,
Pool of sweat.
Oh.
I know, I mowed Mom's too.
Yeah.
Her house.
Like, I have a grass cutting hat.
Okay.
Like, I do. Like, it's specific. Like, I only wash it once a year, and it's at the end of grass cutting season. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, like, it's not this hat. You're looking at this hat, and no, it's not this. It's not my For the Brand hat. It's a hat that Nancy's sister got for me. It's like a Salt Life hat.
Okay.
But it's got like a mesh backing, so like the heat can escape my head and shit. And it's just like one of those things where I was like, I want to see just because I'm first off, I'm out of shape, which is a problem. But also, I've always been somebody who sweats a lot. Like, no matter what. Like, I'm just a sweaty person. If I'm like in an activity, even when I was in shape, when I was a young man and I was in shape, I had a foam, like a horse, like a racehorse. Like, you'd work up a foam, a trough, I believe it's called. But like, so like I'm always somebody who's been a heavy sweater. So like I like seeing just like how disgusting like the brim of that hat becomes by the end of like grass cutting season, Yeah. So like I washed it over the winter, and now it's got the first mowing in, and the brim is just like dripping, like the sweat's actually like you think I get dunked in water because it's just dripping off the brim of my hat, and I'm just like, oh, that's just fucking nasty. Let's see how disgusting this hat gets this year.
All right. They get nasty. Dude.
They do, but that is the good thing. Like if you can have like a 4-week period where you don't have to mow your lawn, a 4 to 5 week period, like because it gets so fucking hot and there's no fucking rain.
Yeah. That
the grass just like stops.
Oh,
even the grass is like, fuck, I can't do this. I don't want to do any bigger.
All right.
It's too fucking hot. So I guess the only good thing, like I remember last year, I had like a month and a half where I just didn't have to mow my grass.
Yeah.
And but all of a sudden when it started to rain, like it shot up.
Yeah.
Like it went from like being like nice even level to like, it was a jungle.
Yeah.
Like within days.
I know, believe me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to hate cutting.
Oh, I've always hated, even when I did it for money, I hated it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And there are people who love that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, there's a lot of things like it's not my thing, but like if it's yours, that's great. Like people who talk about like, I run, like our friend Mongoose in Ireland.
Uh-huh.
He's a runner. He runs like 5Ks, 10Ks. I think he's run a marathon or two.
Yeah.
Loves to run. Good for you, buddy. I get it. I get why people do it. I've heard the story. It is not for me. Like, even if I was somebody, like, if I was to get back in shape, like, I have no desire to distance run at all.
Yeah, some people love that.
No, yeah. And I good for them. I got no qualm with you. No quibble. But those motherfuckers who talk about, like, how much they love mowing their lawn and, like, being out in their lawn and, like, landscaping. Like,
I like doing that.
Yeah.
But I do, you know that. I like being out, but
yeah.
I don't know. It just becomes, at the end of the season, I always hate it. And this year started off me hating it.
Yeah, they're out there with their lawnmower and, like, they're checking their grass. They're laying down seed. They're putting, getting turf put in, because they want a nice Kentucky bluegrass or some shit. Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not that into it.
Yeah. But, I mean, there are some people who are like, then they want to, shape the lawn and they do it like it's the fucking outfield at PNC Park and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, honestly, like, explain this to me, because, like,
It's just a hobby, I guess.
I guess, people who are like that, like, those are, like, some of the people I'm just like, I do not get this at all. And to me, you're just a masochist. Like, I don't get it. There is no joy in mowing your lawn. To me, it's an hour of pure torture. I just want to get in, get out, and have it done with. Yeah. So. Trying to think what's been going on. Not much. I did watch the Batman last Sunday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was good.
Huh?
It was good.
Did you like it?
I did. I like it. It was a different take on the character.
Uh-huh.
A bit more detective-y.
Yeah. That's what I liked about it, actually.
It's something, like, they've never really given us in Batman. I mean, he's, and then even, like, the Penguin quotes that line, the fucking world's greatest detectives. I mean, that's always been Batman, like, one of his catch lines. He's the world's greatest detective. So that was kind of cool to, like, kind of see that in action a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Spoilers. We're gonna spoil this movie.
I liked Penguin.
I liked Penguin. I liked the way they depicted Penguin a lot.
Yeah.
I liked Falcone. I think the thing that drove me nuts is it was like the fucking the end of the Lord of the Rings with like 7 different fucking endings.
Yeah, it got long in the tooth.
Yeah,
but I did like the Riddler.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Riddler.
I liked Falcone.
I liked Falcone. Like I liked it, like everything that they did. I liked the way Gordon was portrayed. I liked like everything about the movie. Like even like the story. Like there's nothing I didn't like about it. It just like I reached a point where I was just like is Frodo gonna get bricked in the mouth? What? I mean, I mean, it literally had like it felt like it had like 7 endings, like the Lord of the Rings, but like I liked the very end of it where he, like at the beginning of it, he's I'm vengeance, and he realizes no, I need to be justice.
Right.
That's Because when he's dropping that line, I'm like, well, that's kind of cool, but that's not really Batman.
Well, I think it was him figuring that out.
Yeah, because it's year 2. You know, that's clearly explained to you. And I liked the journaling that he does, because that's straight out of the comic books. He does journal.
Yeah.
You know, which I liked a lot. You know, so like there was like little things like that, like little touches I liked. But it was like one of those things where like by the end of it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's the journey he's taking of going from being vengeance to being justice.
It was his arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I need to be more than vengeance. I like that at the end.
When that Batmobile fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. I was like... Because it, like... I'm sure it sounded like a jet engine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like...
yeah.
This is badass.
Yeah.
It's just like... Oh, that's wicked. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah. I love the Batmobile a lot. Like, I mean, I like that when they revealed that, like a picture of it.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, you know, what's the costume look like? What's the Batmobile look like?
Yeah.
You know, and I like that version of the Batmobile because it felt real.
It did, didn't it?
You know, it felt like this is like, I'm just going to go get a Dodge Charger. I'm going to put a jet engine in the back of it. I'm going to, you know, modify it for my needs.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to reinforce the chassis. I'm going to reinforce, you know, this is all the stuff I'm going to do to make this work for what I need it for.
Right.
Like, and it makes sense that that's what somebody like that would do, as compared to, you know, as much as I love the Keaton Batmobile, I mean, it's completely impractical.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
and I hate the next two, like the Joel Schumacher Batmobiles. I just hate them both. They're utterly impractical. They just look stupid.
Right.
But like the Tumbler, which is my favorite. Like it makes sense, and I appreciate it, but like it still doesn't make sense like this car does.
Yeah.
Like even like the Affleck Batmobile, it makes sense because it looks like something he would have built from the ground up.
Right.
You know, where this just looked like, yeah, Alfred, go buy a Dodge Charger and let's fuck with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I'm cool with that. You know, so
I liked. Yeah, there was a lot of things I liked on it. The one thing that was getting on my nerves a little bit was the music. It seemed like the theme didn't vary much. It just went back into that theme.
Yeah.
Back into it. And here we go again. And
yeah.
The theme's back on again. And but other than that, in the length, I had, like, I watched it for a second time. I probably will wait about 6 or 7 months before I watch it again.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those type of things. It's almost, I'm kind of treating it almost like Zack Snyder's Justice League. But I did like it. I liked him as Batman.
Yeah, I like Pattinson as Batman. I get the character. I get the way they're going. Like I think again, like much like we saw with the arc of Batman.
Yeah.
You know, the arc of Bruce Wayne is also, you know, where he's not gonna be, you know, emo, long hair boy.
Yeah.
Who sits in his ivory tower and broods.
Yeah.
Waiting for the sun to set so he can be vengeance. You know, we're going to see the billionaire playboy, the philanthropist.
Yeah.
You know, all the things that kind of we know what Bruce Wayne, the character, is. And I think above all else, I thought that was something that like Christian Bale's Batman kind of got.
Oh yeah.
More than anything else. Like I liked Affleck's Batman and Bruce Wayne because it was like at that point, like Bruce Wayne was the mask.
Yeah.
You know, for that character, and so like it made sense from that standpoint. But like from the Bale Batman standpoint, I thought like, well, he's still Bruce Wayne. He's never actually really Batman.
Right.
You know, so the stuff that he does makes so. So I think we may try them try to strike that balance a little bit better.
Yeah.
Going forward.
What do you think of Circus?
I liked him as Alfred.
Yeah.
His Alfred is a little bit confusing to me.
Okay.
Only because it's like I'm not quite sure where he stands in the crusade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Bale's Alfred was against it.
Right.
Like from the start. But he has to follow
right.
Bruce. I felt like Jeremy Irons had just given up.
Yeah.
Which I loved because he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna make shit.
Yeah.
You know, maybe someday you'll knock some broad up and we can carry on the legacy of the Wayne family.
Yeah.
You know, it was shit like that. Like I mean, like he was like brutal. Like Alfred Groh, like from the original Batman movies, like he was too far along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like he was like part of the team.
Yeah.
You know, and he like it'd say like a quick, oh, make sure you get a sandwich or but he was kind of like yeah, you need to do this shit.
Yeah.
You know, or like Michael Caine's Alfred was like no, you need to fucking stop.
Yeah.
You know.
But I liked him.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see
so
where Pennyworth goes from here.
Yeah, so I don't know where this one sits because it seems like he's kind of like, if you're going to do this, I'm going to follow you. But there's also a little bit of me that's like, he's encouraging it a little bit.
Right, and I liked that he was kind of gruff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially after watching Pennyworth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Alfred's gruff.
Yeah.
Like he's, you know what I mean? He's not sophisticated.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, Alfred was kind of in place as a butler, but he's not really a butler.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he comes from that cloth, so he understands it.
Yeah.
But he's not trained in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He wouldn't fit in at that fucking Downington Abbey.
No.
No,
that's
like,
his parents.
Yeah. That's
not
him. Yeah.
No, but so
he was MI6 and shit.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he can fill the void.
Yeah.
Because he understands it like an undercover op almost.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like that part of it. Yeah. And it was a modern take on the Waynes. I got that. I thought that was cool. And they didn't go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't.
I mean?
I don't need to see Thomas and Martha Wayne shot again. We get it. But I did like that it was still a part of the story.
Sure. But it's the
without showing it to us. It's like, well, you know what happened,
right?
And now here's why it happened,
right?
And
I love Falcone.
Yeah.
Wow, is that a great villain? I loved him. I like the I like the actor.
We forget how good John Turturro is as an actor.
My
sometimes.
God, man.
Because that guy can act.
I'm telling you.
Like he can do whatever you. I mean, if you remember, like in those Transformer movies, he's a bumbling goof.
Yeah.
He was funny. We liked him. In this, he was a stone cold fucking killer.
He was, dude.
And I love the moment at the end, like when he gets shot, and Bruce is desperate. Like Batman's desperate to save him, and he recognizes the look under the cowl. Like he knew at the end, like as he was dying, you're Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like he figured because of the look. He's like, I remember the look in your eyes when your dad was operating on me.
Right.
And it was that exact same look of fear that Batman had. That he was like, you're fucking Bruce Wayne. Like without saying it, I was like, oh shit, he knows. He figured it out.
Yeah.
And then he dies. So
Cool
he takes it to his
Easter
grave.
egg.
Yeah, it was like. I was just like, oh man, that's good.
Yeah, I thought it was well written. I liked it. I just thought it was just a little bit long. I thought that
they could have cut a half hour off of this somehow.
Yeah, but I like the fact but I like the twist ending because I didn't see that coming, and
I shouldn't say they could have cut a half hour off because I think they needed the full 3 hours to tell the story.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I wish they could have found a way to cut a half hour off of it.
Yeah.
Because it's a long 3 hours.
It is. It is a long 3 hours.
You know, this is not a 3 hours that flies by, believe it or not.
Yeah, it isn't.
You know.
Yeah, that's why when I got out of it, I was like, wow, that was good, but phew, that was long.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Like you go back to like Endgame.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah. Like that was 3 hours long and it did not feel like it.
No, it just kept going.
Yeah.
This one, drugging parts, where it was just
Yeah.
like, let's pick it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's
You know what I mean?
a very slow paced movie.
And I think it's supposed to be like that. I mean, that's the way they filmed it, and that's the way he wanted it written, and how he wanted his story told. It was just, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Like it's a slow paced movie, but you're right. I guess that's how it was supposed to be, which again, I don't mind. But it was just like by the time you get to hour 3, I was just like, oh, man, thank God.
But
we're at the finish line.
But the action sequences were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Especially when he went in the dark and the machine guns were firing almost like strobe lights.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great scene.
That was. Yeah.
And all you see was the cape and the cowl. And,
yeah.
Oh, the fist coming and then the machine gun stops. And,
yeah.
That was really good. I was like, that was one of my favorite scenes.
That was reminiscent of Vader in the hallway.
Yeah, man. He just went ape shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the fact that you saw him getting hit too.
Yeah.
Like that was, they almost made it a point that you saw him getting hit.
Yeah.
And like taking it.
But the armor could handle it.
Yeah.
You know.
For what he's created so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was really good.
And I like the suit from the standpoint of like he could move in it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you go back to like Keaton and Val Kilmer and, you know, the movie that shall not be named. Those guys couldn't move. It was like a one-piece rubber suit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there was no movement in there, which is why, like, they couldn't even turn their head. Which is why, like, they have to take those big dramatic turns.
Right.
On, you know, like the Batman turn where your whole fucking body has to move.
Like an action figure.
Yeah. Because, like, those rubber suits couldn't move. And I always liked, like, in The Dark Knight, they kind of, like, tried to, like...
Get away from that.
Get away from that. And, I mean, you know... What they came up with was imperfect, but it worked. I liked the Affleck suit a lot, but this I liked a lot. I mean, it felt, again, like somebody who would be going for function, you know, head mobility, which is like huge to Batman, you know, but like it also had like a bit of a militaristic feel to it. Like he was like doing like his shopping like from like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, East German, you know, supply stores and shit.
Right, and it's like utility stuff that was along with the suit made sense, like tasers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The smoke bomb and, you know.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff was like really cool that he was pulling out.
Yeah. The fact that the grapple gun was like, you know, on his arm.
Correct.
You know.
The flare. Like all that stuff would make sense that you would have suited up on you somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he knew where those things were at.
Right.
I did like that. I thought it was like I said, it was more realistic.
The suit was very functional, but still a Batman suit.
And then the cape even turned into a
the squirrel suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It made sense.
It did, yeah.
I mean, but again, realistic. I mean, as unrealistic as it is, it was realistic.
Right.
Because those things do exist.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The squirrel suits, people have those.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, him landing was a little bit unrealistic.
But it'd still be laying there.
Right. No, he wouldn't be laying. He would be like 6 feet into the cement. But at the same point, the squirrel suit made sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's something that exists and people do, and he might have gotten into that at some point in his life.
Right.
In his teens or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being rich and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, all that kind of thing. But I like that part. I like the fact that he just didn't jump off and his suit turned into a hang glider. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It was a sense of realism about it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the car chase scene was good. I mean, like, for the most part, I mean, I like the fact that he rode around on his bike at night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, undercover.
Yeah.
Watching the streets.
Yeah.
You know? And I like the fact that the story was being told, like, out of his journal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how it was folding out, how we talked and stuff like that. So, yeah. And I didn't see him as some brooding gothic kid. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't... Not that there's anything wrong with a brooding gothic kid. I understand that, too. But I think that people were trying to pin that on this movie. And I was like, I don't really see that. I see a kid that's depressed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He still felt very emo in a way.
Well, and a lot of people said, well, that's because of the black man. Well, he wore that black. There was a purpose behind that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And other Batmen have wore it too. You just never saw them take the... Like, in all honesty, if you go back and you watch Batman movies, they've always had the eye black underneath.
Right.
It's just for whatever reason, when they do shots where they take off the helmet or the cowl, the eye black isn't there.
Right.
You know, and I don't know why but so like him taking off the cowl and having the eye black there, that didn't bother me.
It was just another sense of realism to me, though.
Right. It was more on the lines of when he was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where I was just like, and I mean, you know, the Nirvana song didn't help. You know, there was a lot of little touches. It was like, and I get it. Like, you're going to say, okay, well, this is a modern person. This is a 20-something-year-old who lost his parents when he was 12 years old. This is what he's doing. You know, he's become the Batman.
Right.
You know, what do you expect him to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, at the same time, like, I guess having been with the character for so long, I don't expect him to be emo.
Right. But you're not... I think this is the first time we've seen him so young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But in the same sense, it was the exact same problem I had with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man in those two movies, was he seemed so fucking emo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Peter Parker's not emo. And, I mean, you know, Andrew Garfield redeemed that. You know?
I even like that part where Alfred he comes into the room, he's like, yeah, just fresh berries.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know why I like that part so much.
Yeah.
I just still trying to take care of.
Yeah.
As always, he's doing his Alfred thing, you know.
Yeah.
I love the scene in the hospital with the two of them was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Man. I thought Catwoman was good.
Yeah, you can see like Alfred wanted to get up and smack him.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? So Falcone told you a story and you believe that shit?
Yeah.
Here's the real shit, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Let me set you straight.
Right.
And you go take care of your business.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
It was.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
I liked that mob presence in Gotham, and I like this pre-Gotham. Well, you know what I'm saying. Pre-villains. Like mob villains and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty good. I did.
So, I guess the question I guess you're going to want to pose it to me too. But like, okay, so based upon what we've seen, they've already announced they're doing a sequel to this film.
Yeah.
Is there a villain you'd like to see in this realm?
I would like to see Scarecrow come to light.
Yeah.
Because I think he fits right now.
Yeah.
You know, because they've gone into Arkham. So, you know, there's people there, of course, and I'm not ready for Joker. I think they should let the Joker rest for a while.
Yeah.
Keep him in the background.
Right.
Like they did in this, you know.
Yeah.
In here. I don't want to see another Joker. I think the world needs a rest from Joker right now. Yeah. But I would like to see Scarecrow come out a little bit. Yeah. Of course, Penguin's going to become bigger. But yeah, I like the Scarecrow character. And I think he fits with what they're doing. Yeah.
I'd like to see Two-Face.
Really?
Yeah. I think in this world, in this version of Batman, a Two-Face story would work really well.
Do you want that told again, though? I mean,
it's
God,
tough.
That was just, I mean, like...
It's tough because you're right. Like, the Aaron Eckhart version was so fucking good.
Yeah, I mean... Like,
it's tough, like, but, like, from the standpoint of, like, okay, all these people have died. You know, they've been murdered by the Riddler, including the DA. So it would make sense to have Harvey Dent rise to power. Like, maybe you don't do it in this movie, but you have to introduce Harvey Dent now.
Right.
And then...
I mean, I get that. I just don't think there can be a story to equal that Dent story. I mean, that Dent story was a good story.
It was. It was. It was really, really, really well done.
And I don't know how you can... Not recreate, but I mean, like... You know, and then you have the scene at... that hospital scene.
Oh, yeah, with the Joker. Yeah.
With him and the Joker talking.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like...
Yeah.
That was like Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken talking in True Romance.
Yeah. I'm just a dog chasing a car.
Yeah. I mean, like,
yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, it was just like... And you see it, you know, when you finally see the face, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you see him actually lose his mind.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah.
He went past point, is what I'm saying. I don't know if... I understand where I get where you're coming from.
Right.
But at the same point, it's just kind of like... And there's just so much fetching out to do within the...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
System.
I mean, you have to... you're going to end up... Like, in this next movie, I feel like you have to introduce Harvey Dent at least.
Yeah.
You know, whether you set him up as Two-Face in that movie or not, I don't know.
Maybe bring in Harvey Dent to clean house.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm trying to think, and, like, it's like one of those deals where it's like, well, in this world, like, what... Like ultimately, at some point, I want to see a Hush.
Mm-hmm.
A version of Hush. And... Like, I don't know how you pull that off.
Yeah.
But, like, I'd love to see a version of Hush. And... Like, I really think about it, and I'm like, you know... I'd really like to see a good Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
But again, like, Ra's al Ghul is one that I don't... Like, in this world, I don't know if you can pull that, like... Because I want to see a full-blown version of Ra's al Ghul. I want to see the Lazarus pits involved with it. I want to see the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want... That's what I really want.
Okay.
And I don't know if it fits in this version of Batman or not.
Right.
You know, but that's, like, deep down, I want, like, a full-blown, you know... The whole thing. Like, the League of Shadows, the whole thing, you know. Give me a proper Ra's al Ghul. Give me a proper version of his daughter. I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, because that's one of my favorite stories. Is like the respect that Ra's al Ghul has for Batman, and like, you know, I know everything about you. Like, before you even get involved, I know you're Bruce Wayne. There's no need to hide that from me.
Yeah.
You know, because I've already figured that shit out because I'm the smartest man in the world. You know, it's shit like that I'm like, oh, fuck, Ra's al Ghul's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want you to take over my empire. You know, like, oh, fuck. You know, so that's stuff I want to see. But, like, I also, like... Like, based just on the hint that they give you... I watched the scene, the deleted scene that they posted about between Batman and the Joker. Mm-hmm. And, like... But, like...
It was a pretty good scene.
It was a fantastic scene. I mean, it was very... Lecter and Clarice-like.
Yeah.
You know, which I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But so I'd like to see, like, something... I'd like to see that relationship. You're right, like... I don't want to bring back the Joker. I don't want to go down that road again, but in a way I do because I love that character so much, and I'd be intrigued to see how this version plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's just, we've just been
flooded
with Joker. And
yeah.
It's like, I mean, I understand.
Yeah. I get that. Like, I'm not denying it. You're right. But there's a little part of me that does want to see, like...
I mean, he looked good. I mean, like, and the way he acted, and I like that. I
Yeah.
like that whole Hannibal Lecter thing. I
Yeah.
thought that was really good. Yeah. I like the guy that played Riddler, too. Man, was he good.
Like, at some point down the line, like, and this is the hard part. Like, you'd love to see a Red Hood, Batman and the Red Hood.
Yeah.
But you can't do it because you have to get through Dick Grayson. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of things. He's too young.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that has to take place before you can get to Red Hood. But, like, I love, like, that's a character, again, like, I would love to see in this environment.
Yeah.
And see how it works. You know, but that's so far down the line. It's tough to, like, but as a part of me is like, figure it the fuck out and make it work. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I like the world, though. I like what they've created. Another shocking part is when she just walked out and they just shot her ass. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I just did not.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, man, maybe she'll get shot. Nah. She'll probably, someone will come in and cover her up and get her out of there. And she's like, and she was forceful. She was like, this is my city. I'm going to go out. 3 seconds later.
Yeah.
Boom. I was like, holy fuck, that shocked me.
Mayor's done.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, like, it was just cleaning house. And I also like the part. I love the part with the torch.
Yeah.
With the flare.
Yeah.
Like them leading them to salvation or whatever. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I almost got a little choked up at that.
Yeah.
It was like that was his turning point. It was like this is who I am. You know what I mean?
But it was also like that kid, the original mayor's son.
Yeah.
Who he made I contact with in the house at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kid who's like, yeah, fuck it, I know this guy's good.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody else is like, who the fuck? Guy dressed as a bat? We are screwed.
Yeah.
You know, and this kid's like, hey, yeah, thank you for helping me.
I like that that little arc too. I liked in the beginning how they treated him. How when Gordon brought him in to the crime scene.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just walking in like badass. Like,
yeah.
Kind of keeping his eyes on him, but at the same point knowing he's untouchable at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And him just coming in, and I like that. And he was like, what the and it's almost like that's what's coming on there. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, get him out. You know, what is this?
Yeah.
And then toward the end, it's like they're working together. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but it was also like nice. It was like that moment of like, you don't get it. I fucking own the police. And he steps up with Falcone, and he walks Falcone out, and Gordon's like, yeah, not all of us.
Yeah.
There's a few good cops left.
Yeah.
You know.
And they were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I like the fact too when he was talking to Riddler in jail too.
Yeah.
And
that was a great scene.
It was, because I think he truly thought that he knew. I think he thought that Riddler knew that he was Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I thought so. I
thought so too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
I reached a point where I was like, oh man,
and he knows.
Riddler knows. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he did, and that's when you saw the eyes flash. He's like,
yeah.
You know, and that's when he went off on him. He was
Yeah.
like, "You're fucked up." You know what I mean? Like, you're fucking insane. There's something wrong in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but before that, he was like, "I'm just gonna stay low."
Because that was a great moment where, like, the way I thought that was gonna go was like right out of Hush.
Yeah.
Because in Hush, the Riddler knows who Batman is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the comic book, he's telling Batman, like, yeah, we figured it out, and, you know, and Hush was just like a fun little code word that we used. And at the end of it, like, Riddler's like, you know, Batman's like, well, you're going to just spend the rest of your life in prison, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what makes you think I'm not going to tell the world who you are? And Batman's like, because it's the ultimate riddle, and only you know the answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Who is Batman? And you don't want to tell anybody, because only you know the answer.
Yeah.
At the end, he's just sitting there like shock on his face, because like, fuck, he's right.
I know, I watched that one.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great scene too. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie.
There was.
So yeah, I really enjoyed the film. Like I said, but I got to give it a rest. It's not something that's going to come on TV that I'm going to watch instantly.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's kind of unique and like I like it a lot. It's not my favorite Batman movie. And like I want to watch it again, but like you said, like in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like it.
Like I do want to see what the next chapter is.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like I am definitely there.
Yeah, I am. I like to see a little more Alfred. I would.
Yeah.
Involvement.
Well, I mean, Andy Serkis is
Yeah, I know.
He's a treasure.
I know, and I'd like to see where that goes.
Yeah. That's one of the things that bums me out. Like, I'd love to, like, one of the reasons I wanted to see the Affleck Batman continue is I wanted more Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, it was a good,
you know,
Alfred.
He was a very different version of Alfred, but I liked that version a lot.
It was almost a refreshing version.
Yeah.
Not that I mind Michael Caine.
No.
He was just too old for the part, I feel.
Yeah.
But he had some good conversations with Bruce Wayne.
Right. But like there was something about like I feel like in a standalone movie, because like even like in Batman v Superman, he's like, you know, this man is not your enemy. Like, why are you going to war with Superman?
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Like, shit happened, but you gotta understand he's on our side. And fuck him. Fuck him in the ass. He took my tower down. He killed my people. You know, that was an angry Bruce Wayne, and like Alfred was just like, you were a fucking idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't win this fight.
Yeah.
You're trying to fight a god.
It's true though. I mean, he knew what he was talking about.
And even like in like I feel like he would be an Alfred who would be like, you know, well, you know, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but you're a dumbass. You know. He kind of did say that a few times in a way, like, you know.
Yeah. But this Alfred is like sort of like father figure-ish.
Yeah.
In a sense, too.
Yeah.
Not that the others weren't. It's a different father figure. I love that part where he says, you know, I taught you how to fight.
Yeah.
But I was no father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that line.
Yeah.
It made sense to me.
Yeah.
You know? I did what I could, but...
Right.
You know. I can only do so much.
Right. The only thing I don't like about this Batman is he is a sledgehammer. Like in fights.
Yeah.
Like, and not that any of them have ever gotten it right. I guess Bale kind of came close to it with like how good he was in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's constantly getting hit in the head and shit, and you're just like, that wouldn't have happened. Like, you know, Batman wouldn't have had any of these thugs would have laid a glove on him, you know. Yeah. And I mean, I guess it's too high of an expectation, but like, even like as great as that fight scene is in like Batman v Superman, with the, you know, when Batman goes to the warehouse,
yeah,
like that fight scene, which is like something like right out of Arkham Asylum, you know. At the same time, like it gets shot in the head twice, you know. Like little things. I'm like, man, I don't think that would have really happened to Batman. I think he would have been smart enough to get out of that, you know. But like this one particularly, like it's like you could tell, like, yeah, Alfred taught him to fight. Yeah, because he fights like just a sledgehammer.
He does,
you know.
He does fight.
There's no finesse to his game whatsoever. You know.
I like that though. I like how raw that is though. And maybe those skills will develop.
Maybe, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to remember, this is kind of proving ground here.
Right. But like in the Batman mythos, like he traveled the world as a youngster. Like he learned to box, he learned mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
He traveled to Japan. He studied in there. Like there's a lot of like mythology of Batman honing the craft of fighting.
Yeah.
To the point that he is like the ultimate fighter.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. Like, and again, it's an odd thing to like kind of point out, but it's like I'm watching him fight, and especially like at the beginning of the movie, like with those, Joker-looking thugs, and I'm just like, man, not a one of them would have come close to laying a hand on Batman.
I liked how they were going up into that building, and Batman goes, "No guns." And Commissioner Gordon's like, "Yeah, that's your thing."
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
That ain't my thing, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's your deal, buddy. I need a gun.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah,
I thought that was great. Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah.
I especially like the parts on the bike. I found that like just I don't know, like him being undercover on his bike. It's almost like he had a sense of peace, sort of.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't in wasn't in anything. He was just riding his bike.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's one of those oddball things where like he's not trying to attract attention to himself. But once he gets where he's got to be, he's back to being Batman.
Yeah, and it wasn't a Batmobile, wasn't anything fancy. It was just a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bike and a helmet and a backpack.
Yeah.
That's all he had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Was cool.
I agree.
Took all that fluff out of it.
Yeah.
That just didn't need to be there.
Yeah. But also, it's like one of the things like I love, but it doesn't make any sense is like, Batman like grappling, hooking, and gliding all over Gotham City.
Yeah.
Like it like looks cool in a comic book or even in a cartoon. But like in real life, you're like, shit don't fucking work.
Right.
I know the layout of Pittsburgh. That shit wouldn't fucking work.
I like the opening narrative too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Of all the crime and the spray painting, and all of a sudden the light kicks on.
Yeah.
And there's like, they think I'm in the shadows.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool, dude.
You know what Nancy compared that to?
Huh.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of Rorschach's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
That's why I was waiting for you to watch, because I knew you were gonna like that detective part about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I really appreciated.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he was in on the crime scene. I like the fact that he snuck back into the crime scene.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he was trying to figure out the clues, how he was writing everything down.
Yeah.
Like, and that was a consistent thing throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he was just trying to figure it out. I like the fact that he was solving all the riddles.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. I like the aspect of those riddles were like on old Halloween or very old cards.
Yeah.
I love that touch. It almost had a touch of Bioshock-ish to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love that part of it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was ingenious.
Yeah.
I did. The way the Riddler was killing these people off, I thought was very Saw-like.
Yeah.
Less than that. But I mean, like, I thought it was really good. There was a lot of aspects. I love how Batman went in that club and just started kicking some fucking ass.
Yeah.
Because he wanted answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like no secret meeting or anything. He was like, I'm fucking talking to the Penguin.
Yeah.
Now. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, oh!
Yeah, exactly. I thought the Penguin was great.
Yeah. Yeah, Colin Farrell was phenomenal.
Man, did he pull him off. Yeah. I was like, wow. And I don't know if you caught this Easter egg, though, is when Gordon and Batman had him. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And they're talking, El Rata, La Rata, you know what I mean? And he's like, anybody speak Espanol? You know, and they're talking all this shit. And then they leave, and he's still cuffed, and he
Yeah.
comes out walking like a penguin.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to catch that or not. But I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, like you said, there's like a lot of little details, and even I picked up. But I've become more of a Batman fan over the years. Just being with you on this podcast.
Yeah.
I know more about Batman now than I ever did.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of little things just thrown in.
There were two things I loved. Like, I caught as Easter eggs that were like, I hope somebody else caught this. I'm sure, like, there was one scene where Alfred, I think it was right before the package blew up. Mm-hmm. And in the background of the scene, there's a statue, like a bust of Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah?
Which harkens back to Batman 66.
Oh, really?
When they were to open up the door to the Bat Cave, they had a bust of Shakespeare that pulled the head back, and the butt was inside there to open the door. So it was like, it's cute. Yeah. But also, in certain light, the way Batman moved his head, his eyebrows looked white.
Okay.
Which would be an homage to the Adam West Batman.
Okay.
Because his cowl, the nose, like the beak of it, had like a white outline to it, and the eyebrows had a white outline on them.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but so like when in certain light or the way the light hit the cowl, you could see the outline of the eyebrow like that.
Oh yeah.
Like so, I was like, okay, I like that. Like a little tip of the hat to the old Adam West.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, let's get off Batman.
Did you watch any of the NFL draft?
Yeah, I did. I tuned into it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I didn't know they were going to go there. But I don't know if this is a Marino effect or what. But.
Okay, so we're talking about the Steelers in the first round, they drafted Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I think it says a great deal about, like, everybody's saying like it was the right pick for the Steelers, and I kind of agree, and I kind of disagree, because you had 3 teams ahead of the Steelers who need a quarterback.
Right.
2 of those teams had 2 picks in the first round before the Steelers took a 20. The Lions, the Panthers, and the Saints. None of them took a quarterback. Other than Pinkett, who the Steelers take in the first round. The next quarterback to fall isn't until Desmond Ridder in the 3rd round.
Right.
And then a few picks after that, Malik Willis.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I think I agree. Like, all along, people were saying before the draft, this quarterback class isn't very good. And I'm not trying to put down Pinkett. I hope he has a hell of a career. Like, honestly, as a Pitt fan, I hope he has a heck of an NFL career. And as a Steeler fan, clearly I'm hoping he has a heck of an NFL career. So I'm not putting the guy down. But I feel like this was not the draft to draft a quarterback.
Right.
And hope that he's like the other 2 quarterbacks taken are like, we're taking them in the 3rd round and there's a project. Right. And hoping they develop.
The only thing I will say with this kid is the Steelers have more inside information on this guy than anybody. I mean, yeah, they've watched him.
Right.
So with that pick, they kind of knew. They probably have more of a heads up about this guy than anybody else in the draft.
Right.
I mean, because they've watched him grow up. I mean, literally. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe they feel they had an advantage there. Maybe they feel this kid has more potential than.
I think the key to it is his floor is much higher than any other quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't know how much higher his ceiling is.
Right.
Now, I mean, he could be the quarterback for the next 10 years and be decent. He could be Jake Plummer.
Yeah.
You know, or he could be the guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. Like, I don't know.
Well, that's always the fear right now.
Right. But, I mean, it's like, having watched him over 5 years at Pitt.
Yeah.
Like, he made his name his freshman year against Miami. Like, Miami was, like, a top 5 team, I think. Like, they were playing... They were in a position to get into the playoff. And Miami comes to Pittsburgh, and Kenny Pinkett beat them as a freshman, but he did it with his legs.
Yeah.
He ran all over. Like, if you go back and you watch that game, it wasn't a game that he was throwing for 300 yards. I think he ran for 150 and threw for 150.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His second season, I mean, he didn't light the world on fire.
No.
Like, watching his second season, I'm like, yeah, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't until his senior year that you really kind of, like, sat up and said, oh, he's got potential.
He's got this
You know,
kid can go.
like, so it took him 5 years to figure out the game. Yeah. And, like, so I wonder, like, okay, he's this is where he's at, and at college, that's phenomenal. But, like, can he take that next step and be that at the pro level?
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see.
And, like, I feel like because, like, there's so many question marks about that, like, I would have much rather seen him taking somebody else. Like, another position.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my only problem. Like, because this quarterback draft was so bad, there wasn't a guy that you felt like he's a surefire NFL quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, you know, we got to have this guy on the team. The other teams weren't jumping to get.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the shit that makes me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, it'll also help him. It's also going to help him, too, coming into the Steelers, because he's a hometown guy. That's going to be a big benefit to him. I know that sounds weird, but, you know, Steelers fans and Pittsburgh fans, especially Pitt fans.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be...
And I know doesn't sound huge, but it's going to help them. They're going to be less likely... The Boo Birds are less likely to get to come out, I think, on this kid. We'll see.
Right, but, like, I mean, the question becomes, like, are you starting him week 1?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're starting...
Trubisky.
Yeah. I do.
I think so,
just signed
too.
him for, what, $14 million?
No.
How much did we sign him for?
I think he's making $4 million a year.
Huh?
Like, he's making very, like, in the quarterback circles, like, I think at most, I think he's making $8 million a year.
Yeah.
Tops. I think it was like $16 million for 2 years, something like that.
That's what I thought. $14 million for like 2 years or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's not that he's not making that much money as compared to, like, what Roethlisberger was making $30 million a year, $35 million a year.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. Like, you know, if you're talking about a guy making $6 to $7 million a year
No,
compared
I know, I get it. But
yeah.
Like, hopefully they're not still paying that.
No.
I think that's all settled and done.
Yeah, it's all settled and done. Yeah, there's no Barry Bonds situation or Bobby Bonilla situation here.
Yeah.
So, like, overall, I like the pick. Like I said, I like Kenny Pickett. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's just like, you know, every draft analysis was like, well, these guys don't have a first round grade. And then, like, after all the quarterback shuffling was done in free agency and trades, it was like, well, okay, these are the teams that need a quarterback, so they should be drafting a quarterback. And maybe none of these guys fall the pit. Like, and everyone was talking about, like, you know, Malik Willis. Oh, he's a surefire home run. Now, look at that arm. And he goes in the fucking 3rd round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not even do it, again, a quarterback-starved team like Carolina.
Yeah.
Or Detroit. He went to fucking Tennessee to be a backup project.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the. So it's like one of those deals where it's like, if all I heard about, like, especially from Steelers fans, like, oh, I can't wait till Malik Willis is a Steeler. And I was saying all along, like, why? Sure, he's got a rifle for an arm, but, like, I wouldn't trust him to hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
He's extremely inaccurate. I don't think he has a touch pass.
Yeah.
And that's what the NFL is, touch passes. There was so much about him, I was just like, man, I don't see it. Yeah, you're just falling in love with a guy who can throw it 80 yards.
Yeah, yeah.
Guess what? He didn't hit the receiver. He was way off.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy they drafted Pinkett, but I'm not, because I feel like you ride Trubisky for a year and you come back next year and you look to get that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, man, I am glad we got him. I'll see how he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, good for him. It's just a good Pittsburgh feel-good story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So is James Conner, though.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't say that because, I mean, he's lighting it up in Arizona.
Yeah.
Getting paid, got his bag.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the same time, like, at Pitt, it just didn't, or it's in Pittsburgh here, it just didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
who else did they get?
So in the second round, they drafted wide receiver out of Georgia, George Pickens.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know much about the guy, so I watched some highlight reel stuff that people posted. And he looks like he's got phenomenal hands.
Yeah.
And he's a bigger guy. So, like, my question becomes, like, well, because you drafted him, and then in the fourth round, you drafted Calvin Austin, a wide receiver out of Memphis. So you drafted 2 wide receivers in the first two days.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, no. In the first 4 rounds. So, and he, like, I watched his tape and what people were saying about him, and it was like, speed. This guy is nothing but speed. Mm-hmm. So, he's the new Ray McLeod.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be the guy right back returning kickoffs, and, he'll be like, a guy who can, you throw in there to stretch the field a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, I guess that means that, hey, Deontay Johnson, we're not paying you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which, like, if he's coming back and he's requesting, like, $20 million a year, like, all these, like, wide receivers who, like, are ending their rookie deal, they're like, they want paid big, and they're getting paid big. Like, the wide receiver market's exploded.
Uh-huh.
So if you're a team like the Steelers, right, you just be like, fuck it, I can find another one of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it sucks to say that because I like Deontay Johnson a lot, but at the same time, you're not a $20 million wide receiver.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Claypool, you're not a $20 million wide receiver at all.
I thought he was going to be.
He still could end up being that.
Yeah.
But, like, right now, I trade him for a case of warm beer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's that thing of, like, okay, well, we drafted 2 wide receivers probably because we're going to be cycling through somebody soon.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? They got a defensive end out of Texas A&M, DeMarvin Leal. They're thin on the D-line, so they needed somebody there. That was a need. I think the big one, the one that kind of surprised me, there's 2 that surprised me. In the 6th round, they drafted Connor Hayward.
Okay.
Hayward. Cam Hayward's little brother.
Okay.
He's an H-back. He's from Michigan State. So if you watched the Peach Bowl, he was that big-bodied motherfucker who was just, like, blocking out the sun as he went up to make catches.
Really?
Yeah, like, he's a huge. Like, he was, like, their tight end, but he's, like 6'4". He was, like, 275.
Really?
Yeah, he's a beast. And he's fast. He's got good feet. But I mean, like he went up for one catch. And I'm like, ain't nobody stopping that shit. Like, you can't put a linebacker on this guy. You can't put a safety on this guy. I don't know who the fuck you put on this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but he's going up there and he's making plays. So I think it's a cool sign and cool pick because one, he's Cam Hayward's little brother, which is nice.
Yeah.
But two, he has this untapped potential to be like I don't know what, like this hybrid offensive. Like we're gonna line him up as like a tight end style.
Yeah.
And just let him bowl over people, or, you know, we may put him in the backfield and, like, you know, run weird routes to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's an interesting thing of, like, I like the pick because I feel like there's a lot you could do with him, with his athleticism and his size. Mm-hmm. It's, like, just ridiculous to see him.
Well, Steelers have a knack of getting guys like that.
Yeah. And in the 7th round, he drafted another quarterback.
What?
Yeah. Chris Oladokun, quarterback, South Dakota State.
Okay.
Yeah. I never heard of him. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never watched a South Dakota State game in my life. Go Jackrabbits. You know, the only reason I know they're the South Dakota State Jackrabbits is because what's his name? Adam Vinatieri. He went to North Dakota State.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know what that school even exists.
Okay.
And like I can't imagine him having like he's a 7th round. Like, why would you draft a quarterback? You've got to like maybe he's like an athletic type that you're like you can put somewhere else. You can hope you develop like a slash style guy. I don't know, but. I was like, why'd you draft a quarterback in the 7th round? You already drafted one in the 1st. Yeah. Why are you bookending that shit?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to have, like, some athletic... Like, I haven't looked him up. I just saw that when we were sitting down to record.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, he's got to have, like, maybe he's an athlete that can do other things. Because I just don't see why you would draft... Unless you really hate fucking Mason Rudolph that much and you're just going to let him go. And like we'll have 2 rookies on the fucking team.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like you're like saying like I hate Mason Rudolph this much. You know?
Right. Imagine being Mason Rudolph and then watching this draft.
Like here's the thing about me. Like I can't imagine being Mason Rudolph because like at one point you were on the Jim Rome show talking about how you couldn't wait to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And then they go and they bring in Mitch Trubisky and then they draft Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Hey, the writing's on the wall. Like, you are now the 3rd quarterback on the depth chart.
Yeah.
That quick.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no chance in hell you are going to see the field ever again.
Yeah, not in Pittsburgh.
Not in this, not probably not anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, like, I'm sorry, like, they're one of those people, like, once Roethlisberger retired, like, oh, you got to give Mason a chance. Like, no, he's been given a chance. I've seen what this man can do under fire. I am not impressed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He is not the guy that was at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Like, you watch his Oklahoma State film, you're like, fuck, this guy can throw the ball. I watched him as a Steeler, I'm like, where the fuck did the guy from Oklahoma State go?
Yeah, he just doesn't throw.
Yeah.
It's just not there.
I don't know if getting hit in the head with a helmet caused problems for him psychologically. You know, I mean, but like, I do not ever want to see Mason Rudolph throw a pass in a professional game ever again.
Thank God he said that. Because I've had arguments with people too, and they're like, "Oh, Mason Rudolph." I was like, "No, not the answer." And they're like, oh, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I went to every single fucking game."
Yeah.
With Duck and him.
Yeah, when you can't beat out a guy named Duck, there's a problem.
Yeah. It was just like...
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just bad. It's just not a good quarterback.
Like, they went 8-8 that season,
yeah,
and it was strictly because they traded for Micah Fitzpatrick.
Yep. Minka saved their 50,
yeah,
500 season.
It was strictly because they traded for that guy. He is worth every penny they paid him.
I like Minka.
So do I. Like, he hasn't had the interceptions he had that first year.
No,
but
he was a good
he's a
position.
presence. Like, especially at the end of last season when, like, that defensive line was falling apart. He was making every fucking tackle.
Man, it's sick.
Like, it was, like, legit. Like, he was backing up that defensive line better than the linebackers were.
That linebacker we got, too, is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
They got him in free agency, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty good.
Yeah. So, like, I'm intrigued to see. Like, I mean, this draft is going to become important because it becomes the Kenny Pickett draft.
Yeah.
Like, if Kenny Pickett works out, phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, if he doesn't work out, you know, in 3 years, you're drafting in the top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll see. I hope this kid works out.
I do too. As a fan, I know the Steelers would have him.
Yeah.
For coming out of Pitt. I hope it works out. But, you know, at the same time, I'm kind of looking at, like, every other quarterback in this draft, you were the only one drafted in the first round, and no one else was taken until the third round.
Yeah, yeah.
And you didn't stand out that fucking much.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
you know, so.
I'll be interested to see where it goes.
Oh, so
I'm excited to see him in a Steeler uniform on the field.
So am I. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be exciting. If he starts day one.
But I still think they've been watching this kid. Like, they know this kid inside and out. It's, you know, it's like watching your little brother grow up.
I'm sure. Like, I don't think they like this. You know, I heard Mike Tomlin say, like, well, they're like, well, is it just familiarity? And he's like, well, no, not really. Like, you know, we don't see them practice. Like,
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure there's people there watching.
Right.
This.
But like at the same time, he was like, you know, at the end of the day, yes, having him next door is a bit of a benefit because we do get to know him a little bit more than maybe anybody else. I'm willing to bet they had to have sat down with Pat Narduzzi for a few hours.
Yeah.
You know, I'm willing to bet like they brought over Pat Narduzzi, like, hey Pat, can you come next door? We need to pick your brain on this guy.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know?
sure.
Yeah, more than any other coach, they probably talked to him a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, about Kenny Pickett, and I'm sure that they could have. You know, Matt Canada was there Pickett's freshman year.
Yeah.
That's when Canada left Pitt.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure. I mean, Canada has a little bit of familiarity with him. I'm sure they probably had like a conference call with Mark Whipple.
Yeah.
You know, the assistant, the offensive coordinator for 4 years at Pitt.
Yeah.
For the majority of Pickett's career. And like the thing I'm sure Kenny Pickett cannot wait to not have to run to the sideline to get a play.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the biggest takeaway from this is like Kenny Pickett's got to be thinking to himself, thank God I don't have to be like running sprints to and from the sideline. Because that's how they did it. Like, they wouldn't give signals. They wouldn't send it. Pickett had to go to Mark Whipple and get the play every single play. It was like the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be like, that shit's in my ear now? Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I don't have to run 10 miles a game. You know?
Yeah. Talk about exhausting your quarterback.
Like, there were games, especially like his first year under Whipple, like so his sophomore year, like you could see at the end of the game his legs were dead.
Yeah.
Like he had no oomph on the ball because he was running back and forth from the sideline.
Yeah.
And I was just like, help this poor kid out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but like by his fifth year, like it was like, no problem. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, that kid is in some shape. Like he had to have been like, well, if I got to do this every fucking game, I need to run more. Like, I need to be ready to run a fucking 5K.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
I am. I mean, what do you say about that? I mean, Steelers usually draft pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they know what they're doing when they're going into a draft. So, I trust in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that big guy's pretty exciting, too, you're talking about, too. That big halfback.
Yeah. Yeah, Cam Hayward's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what develops there. Hopefully something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if we get a blocker in there.
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a thing of like the I formation is dead.
Yeah.
Long live the I formation.
Yeah.
You know, I get that. That's how football's evolved. But there is a part of me that's like, this guy is so fucking massive. Like, if you put him like in an I formation in front of Najee Harris, and then like you run like old school West Coast offense, like Joe Montana to Tom Rathman shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that type of play calling where like, you know, and for those who don't remember, like Tom Rathman was a beast out of the backfield for the 49ers. Mm-hmm. He'd have like 50 catches a year. Like, and it was just like a brute. Like he was just, but he was another weapon for Montana. Like if you give me something like that and you start running like that style of offense where you're using a fullback and you're running that fullback out of the backfield to make you know, catches and shit. Man,
well, that's
nobody's
what
going
I
to tackle this motherfucker.
Exactly, but maybe that's what they wanted.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? And then maybe they want that extra blocking attack for Najee Harris. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you know he's going to level people.
Right. But the problem becomes you're overpaying Derek Watt to be a special teams player.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I love Derek Watt. I wish he was being utilized as a blocking back.
Yeah.
Because he can do it, and he also has good hands out of the backfield too. Like, you know, but it's like that thing of like, well, then you're just really overpaying a guy to be a special teams player,
right? Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's it's kind of exciting. For Pittsburgh.
I mean, the draft is always exciting. It's like this is like the first time you kind of like sit there and say, okay, yeah, this is why I think we have a shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now, even like Jacksonville feels good about themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Detroit, like, yeah, this is our year. We're going to finally make the playoffs. You know?
Yeah.
Shit like that, you know?
Yeah. Nah, it's good. I mean, I don't know. It'll be weird not seeing 7 come out.
It will. It certainly will.
But I'm hoping, you know. I don't know. It'll be big shoes to fill, but at the same point, you know, last year was kind of bad. So the shoes won't be that much bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
at the end of the day, the question has to be, has that offensive line improved?
Yeah, I know.
Like at the end of the day, like if that offensive line is not improved, because like Najee Harris, his production level wasn't as high as I thought it was going to be because of that offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, Ben's production far lower than I thought it would be because of that offensive line. Like,
well, they tried to fix some of that off season, didn't they?
They did. I mean, they brought in some people, and you're hoping guys improve with age. Or there were a couple of rookies on that offensive line, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like one of those deals where you're hoping that offensive line just improves. Like if you could just be average.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you could just be average, Najee will take the reins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I mean, if you look at it, like even if you throw Pinkett out there week 1, like what do you need for a rookie quarterback to be successful? Well, you need a strong running game where you have Najee Harris. So if that offensive line is average, you got a strong running game. You need a good tight end. Well, you got Pat Freiermuth.
Oh.
Pat Freiermuth is to me developing to be one of the best. Yeah, he could be one of the best tight ends in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he looks that good. And you need a good tight end to be like a security blanket for a young quarterback. Well,
right.
You got Pat Freiermuth. You know, do you have a guy who can go get it for you? Well, that's Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
He's one of the best route runners in the game right now.
Yeah.
If Chase Claypool can get his head out of his ass and play to his potential, he could be a beast, an unstoppable beast. Yeah. You throw in Pickens, who they drafted, who, again, tall receiver, but looks like he has phenomenal hands. Then you throw Austin in as this, speedster where you just kind of like, we're going to throw him out there in a 4 wide receiver set and you just throw the ball deep. He'll go get it. I mean, there's a lot of like pieces there where I'm saying like, offensively, you should be better than you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's just the reason you're not is that offensive line.
Yeah.
So if that offensive line can get its shit together and just be average,
right?
Everything else comes together.
What do you think about the defense?
Well, I mean, like, okay, I think the defense really is going to hinge on 2 guys, and that's Devin Bush. If Devin Bush can be the Devin Bush we saw his rookie year, then we've got something special again.
Yeah.
Like, his rookie year, you saw it. He was a sideline-to-sideline guy.
Oh, yeah.
He gets injured, and he's no longer that guy for whatever reason. And the Stephon Tuitt come back and play to the level that he's played at in the past.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, like, those other guys were, I salute your service, but you weren't Stephon Tuitt.
Yeah.
And Tuitt is a special player. And he had the injury. He had the death of his brother. There was a lot of shit going on there. And I'm just hoping like he can come back and he can be the Stephon Tuitt of old. And if that's the case, that with, Watt and Highsmith on the edges, like you've got yourself a recipe for Tyson Alalalu. He was out all of last year too, or the majority of it.
Yeah.
You get Alalalu back because he was a big component as well.
What about the guy we drafted? Not drafted, free agent.
I can't remember. Like, I think he was a middle linebacker.
Was he a middle linebacker?
Yeah.
He's a beast too, I heard.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he's like the backup plan if Bush doesn't work out.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's like the guy who's like, yeah, okay, we need you to
clean up some business.
Yeah. we need you to replace this guy because he stinks.
Well, I'm sure they'll give Bush a chance.
I'm sure they will because it's a big investment in him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's like frustrating because like you saw in his rookie year how good he
He
was.
was so good that first year.
And then the injury occurs, and now he's not nearly as good. He looked horrible last year at times. There were times I was watching him get blocked, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I said, Miles Jack is the guy you're thinking of from Jacksonville.
Okay.
They signed him.
Okay.
He's an inside linebacker. He can't play outside, but I think they're bringing him in to be the guy next to Bush to take some of that pressure off. So,
okay,
there's that. All right, so the Batman and Sports Ball.
Yeah.
What a show.
I hear you.
Anything you add to the proceedings there, sir?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. Hey, you can send us an email like Thad does each and every week. Thad did say he went to Kennywood last weekend, and he enjoyed the hell out of it.
Cool.
He did say they get potato patch fries and gravy, which sounds delicious, but I don't think I want to eat that at Kennywood.
No.
That's too heavy.
Yeah.
It's too heavy. I'll get the sweats just thinking about that, like 95-degree heat next to that potato patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Then you're hitting that waterlogged bathroom by the kangaroo that's
just
filth. It is filth.
Filth indeed.
It has been filth for years.
Yeah.
I remember that bathroom used to have... you had to put a quarter in to use that stall.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to pay for the privilege.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they need to bring that back.
Yeah.
Because that bathroom is... It's like a horror movie set.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that bathroom.
Yeah.
I do. It's like the worst bathroom in Kennywood.
Oh.
Oh, man. And I don't understand why it was always so wet.
No,
It
neither
was
do
always
I.
like soaking wet. And I couldn't...
Yeah.
I was like thinking to myself, did they just spray this fucker down?
Yeah.
Or like, is there just like a bunch of holes in the roof? Because I could never understand why that bathroom was always so wet. Because it wasn't by any water ride.
No. No, but it was. It was like, just like water. It was like, I don't know, if something of it was just like leaking, like a sieve.
Yeah, it was almost like if you ever been to a water park bathroom.
Yeah.
But it was like that all the time.
All the time.
And I could not ever understand why.
No.
Because there's no water, anything near that place.
Yeah.
Nothing. The only thing near that place is the squirt guns.
Yeah.
But there's nothing near that bathroom that's wet.
Yeah. Like you're getting off the old mill soaking wet.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway.
It's kind of going to the zoo. Those bathrooms are always like sprayed down like that.
You can spray it out like the animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody shit on the toilet again.
Take those.
Bring in the hoses.
Yeah.
Let people walk on it.
So there's that. So you sent us an email like Thad did. That email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. We're very, very easy to find. I lost my train of thought. We're on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and you can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, I want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for that. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.